Okay guys, welcome to the interior of the Renault Captur. I just want to show you a couple of things before I set off. I just want to show you a couple of things, and one thing is when you have a full tank on this Renault Captur, as you can see the tank is full. That's the range that you get, 630 kilometers. So not bad for a full tank. And of course the average fuel consumption here is 7.7 liters per 100k. Again, not a bad number at all. So we'll be exploring a little bit more about the interior of the Renault Captur. We'll take a look at what you can expect from the seats, technology, and everything on the inside.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's nice to have you back with me. Today we're checking out the all new Renault Captur. I got given this Renault Captur from Motus Renault, which has dealers across the country, including Johannesburg, as well as in Durban and other parts of the country. I know they've got some places in Bloemfontein, they've got some places in Cape Town as well. So this is the brand new 2023 Renault Captur that they've sent me. The new Renault Captur comes in two trim levels. One is the Zen, which is your entry level, the Zen entry level, and the second one is the one that they've sent me, which is called the Intens. So this is the Renault Captur from the outside, and we're gonna have a look at it in greater detail. So first I want to show you the key, because this is no ordinary key. This is what you get with the all new Renault Captur. This is your key. That's how it looks. But the good thing about Renault making this design with the key is that it does not require you to actually take your key out ever, because it has automatic unlock and automatic lock. So as soon as the car senses obviously the proximity of the key, it opens up the vehicle, and likewise when you are exiting the vehicle. So as I approach the vehicle, you'll see those mirrors unlock, and you'll hear the beep as well, which indicates that the car is then unlocked, as you can clearly see now. So as always, I like to take a look at the boot space in any vehicle, because I like to be practical with the reviews and what we do. So this is the boot space that you'll get available to you in the Renault Captur. So this boot space as it stands is 575 liters of boot space. All right, but having said that, you can stick those seats down, those back seats. There are levers that you'll find here, as you can see, and picking them up, so you can drop both your rear seats down. And when you drop your rear seats down, it transforms your boot space from 575 liters to 1,274 liters. That is quite massive, especially when you need that additional space. So obviously Renault classifies the Captur as an SUV. I would say it's a subcompact SUV. It certainly has decent ground clearance, which is handy, especially when you are going over low-lying areas. So the ground clearance on the Renault Captur, as we'll take a look at the side here, you can see it is a fair amount off the ground. So it is 174 millimeters off the ground. Another thing when it comes to the range topping Intens model, which is what I've been driving now for a week, even though you can see this car is silver, or grey rather, it's two-toned with a little bit of black. So the two-toned edition of the Captur is only available in the range topping Intens and not the Zen. So the colors that are available for the Renault Captur is oyster grey, ivory white, marine blue, ocean blue, passion red, and mercury silver. You can take a look at the front and what is on offer for you when you purchase the Renault Captur, the all new Renault Captur. Taking a look at the body in the front. So they come with C-shaped LED lights, and it is daytime running lights as well. As you can see, that's diamond cut alloy wheel rims. Certainly looks like a fantastic vehicle. And then also there's, as you can see from the front, those C-shaped LED headlights, and there are also parking sensors you'll see at the front. See right there, it's a parking sensor, and that tells you how far you are from things when you're entering a parking. So it certainly looks a great vehicle. It may not look big, but it is quite spacious. I'm going to have a look at what it has to offer on the inside in a bit. Both the Intens and the Zen comes equipped with a 4-cylinder 1.3 turbocharged EDC engine. Definitely some modern tech packed into this Renault Captur. If you're looking for power, in terms of power, the Renault Captur can give you around about 113 kilowatts, but don't get fooled by that number, because with a 7-speed automatic dual clutch gearbox, it is pretty speedy, very zippy, and definitely can do both long distance as well as the intricate driving that you need in traffic. By the way, ABS is standard on this vehicle, so is EBD and hill start assist as well. The top speed on this Renault Captur is 196 kilometers per hour, and it can go from 0 to 100 in 9.6 seconds. But that's as much as I can tell you about the outside. Let's hop inside and see what we've got. Oh, before we go and check in what's on the inside of the Renault Captur, just to let you know, this is your rear parking camera, and that's going to help you obviously when you're parking. It comes with park distance control, as well as you can see them there on the skid plates. Okay, so let's take a look at the inside of the all new Renault Captur. So that's the entry music, and of course you have different users that it asks you for on the infotainment system. But let's have a look at everything that you can expect from the all new 2023 Renault Captur. So let's start off with the center console. And something that Renault prides itself on is that this is what they call a floating console, which is kind of in the air, and there is the space underneath, as you can see, for stuff that you want to store. So that's pretty cool. Some cup holders in the center. That's obviously your parking brake, which is automatically controlled. Then, as you can see, I've got my keys there, but you can store anything that you want in that center console. Pretty nice and effective. There's an auxiliary in cable, and there's 2 USB ports. One USB port you can use for your actual USB, and the other port you can use for, I guess, charging your device. Then when it comes to air conditioning, we'll just start up the car by pressing that button. Car is now turned on, and these are your climate control functions. As you can see, these 3 knobs will control your air conditioning in the vehicle. This will set the fan speed, so you might be able to hear that through the video. This is the temperature that you want to control. That's the lowest, which is, I presume, 16. You can then obviously pick it up to as high as you want to, but we will keep it on low for now since it's a scorcher in Johannesburg. And this knob, by turning it, changes the direction that you want the air to flow. As you can see, that one's coming up at the windscreen, then that one's coming up at your feet. This one is straight ahead at you, including the feet, just the feet, and those are the options that you have. and just pressing this little button here will turn on the aircon. That will recycle the air as usual. It's all straightforward. That button will help you out when your glass is misty, and that's for the rear. Then on the top here you have your central locking button. Just press that and your central locking is activated. Your hazards, and then this is something called My Sense from Renault. It's going to change the driving modes that you have. So if you look at the screen, and pressing this little button changes it. As you can see, it says multi-sense. So this is My Sense, and what My Sense basically means is that the car senses how you're driving and what you're looking for from the car in terms of performance. So if it senses that you are looking for an economical performance, then the car will automatically adjust as you desire. While if you want a little bit more gas, especially coming on the highway or when you're looking to overtake very quickly, then it'll automatically give you a sport mode. But that's the modes that you can control just by pressing that button there. It takes you to this screen. Pressing it again takes you into sport mode, which also changes the view of your display down here. So that's what you get on your display when you change it into sport mode. Let's put it back into eco, and that's what you get when it's eco. The display changes, and then putting it on My Sense where it automatically chooses gives you this generic display where you can find everything that you need. And if you look at the mileage now, it's 16,869. So that's basically a distance of 554 kilometers that I've done on a full tank. All right, and as you can see, that is how much fuel I have left. I've got 2 bars of fuel left, which according to the car is going to take me around about 160 odd Ks. So just doing a rough calculation, that's going to get me over 700 kilometers to a tank of fuel, which is excellent value in the current climate that we're living in. Also, when I received the car, it was sitting at an average fuel consumption of 7.7 liters per 100k. Me driving it the way I do, and of course with a lot of freeway driving, has brought it down to 7.3 liters per 100k, which is an understandable figure for a 1.3 turbo engine car that is classed as an SUV. Now Renault calls this little cockpit the Smart Cockpit. It has a 9.3 inch driver oriented multimedia touchscreen. That's what that is, and it's compatible with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Allows you to mirror your phone in your vehicle, and then of course on this end we've got that customizable 7-inch digital instrumentation there, unique floating console, which I showed you a little bit earlier on, of course, and it has this little futuristic e-shifter gear lever that's obviously within easy reach of the driver. So everything is within touching distance, and it really is handy. Of course, the Renault Captur has a multi-functional steering wheel. Obviously your cruise control buttons are here. Then if you've connected your smartphone to the vehicle, then you can take your calls and do all those things here. This button just gives you the information that you need on the dashboard. As you can see, that's been highlighted, and then just selecting between it will tell you how many Ks you're doing, how many trips you've been doing, gives you your horsepower, your torque as well, and of course there's your average fuel consumption. So that's what you can expect from that button. When you press it repeatedly, it just takes you to the compass view, which you can see there, your navigation, and also tells you what's playing on your multimedia player. Then you have your gear signal there, you have your driving mode called My Sense, that is up there. And if there's one thing that I can fault, and this is just me being nitpicking, right, and I really I don't fancy the speed starting at 10 and then going in increments of 20 right through to 230, because if you know, most vehicles start at 20 and they go in increments of 40, and then obviously you can clearly see
when you're doing speeds like 80, 100 and 120, which is the speeds that we obviously have here in South Africa. Now, I know this is a me problem because you will get used to it once you're in the vehicle, and besides, you do have your kilometers per hour there. But I'm a driver where I constantly look at the needle, and when I try to get to 120 and I don't see a 120 there, it kind of confuses me, which is why I end up sticking at 110. Looking over at the side here, you can control your infotainment through this little lever. It doesn't go up or down, but you can change your source there from USB to Bluetooth to radio, whatever the case is. So can you with mode. And then your volume control are buttons here at the side that you can press. And obviously pressing both of them together would mute it. Wipers are automatic, both front and rear. So are your daytime running lights, as you can see. Those are all on auto. And the interesting thing for me about this Renault Captur is the tech. So as you can see, these buttons here, this is your lane keep assist button. So this will either dim or brighten the light on your speedometer screen, and this is to either raise or lower your beams. But the most interesting feature that I found on the Renault Captur is this little thing here. At first I was wondering what the heck is this, but this is actually to warm or to heat up your steering wheel. Very, very handy if you're in Johannesburg and Cape Town, cold areas like that. This can really save you on a cold morning when you're heading to work. From a safety perspective, Renault's just packed this car with so much, man. They've got a reverse parking camera, including front parking sensors, which I've showed you, pure vision LED lights, automatic high beam switching for your improved visibility. You automatically switch to dipped beam headlights as soon as you enter a more built up area or approach another vehicle from the front or behind. Blind spot warning, of course, it's an indicator that is controlled on. There's a light that comes up on either of your side rear view mirrors. It's a little orange light that will blink if you are too close to the vehicle behind you. Then I showed you lane departure warning. It warns you and corrects the trajectory if you cross a line without using the indicator. Speed warning as well with traffic sign recognition. As you travel, the camera obviously picks up the traffic signs ahead of you, and it will show up on your little GPS here. And apart from also showing you your traffic signs, it'll tell you where there's a camera, speed camera ahead. So another one of the features on the safety front is the rear parking camera, which is very nice for you if you are unsure about yourself. Sticking the car into drive, immediately pops up the camera there, as you can see behind. And as you can see, this image is the parking distance control, and you can see the distance in the back as well as the front and to the side, so you can always be comfortable when parking in tight spots. Very nice feature to have, and something that I did not expect from the Renault Captur. So that is it for the all-new Renault Captur. If there's one word to describe this vehicle, and there's one thing that I've been talking about this vehicle from the time I've had it, is that the all-new Renault Captur is surprising. I did not expect to have a good time with the car because I've just never really been a fan of Renault. But after Motus Renault contacted me and allowed me to test drive this all-new Renault Captur, I was thoroughly impressed. I thought that it packed a punch for its size. It is really quick, really zippy on the road. For a 1.3 engine, it's not bad at all. So just to let you know that the Renault Captur, the 1.3 turbo Zen, which is the entry level, you can get the entry level at Motus Renault, any Motus Renault around the country. They currently have a special that's it's going for 479,999, and you can get it for roughly around 8,200 Rand per month over 6 years without a deposit. and with a balloon payment of 40%. So go and check it out. motorsrenault.co.za, that's where you're going to check the guys out, and I'm sure they're going to have loads of other specials as well. But I can tell you now, for the Renault Captur, that's what you can get. And don't forget to take a test drive. Why don't you? Maybe take this vehicle, the Renault Captur Intens, for a test drive and see what it has to offer, because I can tell you that it certainly surprised me, and I'm sure it will surprise you as well. So that's the review for the Renault Captur 2023. Hopefully we'll be having another vehicle from the guys of Motors Renault pretty soon. I think, if I'm not mistaken, next up we'll be taking a look at what the Kiger has to offer. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing as well. Catch you at the next one.